I was asked a question about starting a business. You form a business potentially on Company's House, and what do you do next? That's the $1,000,000 question. I think one of the great places that we can look at is something called lean startup. It's kind of a way of thinking, it's a way of doing things. And if you're starting a business, it's a great place to start. Even innovating a product or creating a new service, this is a great place in which we can think about how we can create something called a minimal viable product. It's not about doing things necessarily cheaply, but it's about getting there quickly. The idea of getting there quickly with the bare bones of something means that we've got the opportunity to test. If we think about some of the most successful companies in the world, like Uber, for example, when they first launched, they almost appeared to their competitors that they were doing everything wrong. You know, they were disrupting, they're kind of making mistakes that they were going, but this is the principle of lean. So if you're thinking about starting a business, think about how you can get there quickly and what can you do in order to launch the business without costing the earth sometimes. Just because you're the first to the market doesn't mean you're going to be successful either. If we look at there was a fitness tracker called Jawbone, and in 2011 they secured $159 million of investment. More investment came. Most of the competitors didn't come to the market until 2012, but by 2016 they'd basically stopped production and they went into liquidation in 2017. That's very interesting because they didn't pay attention to what their customers wanted. So just because you've got all of the funding in the world and you design the most attractive looking product and you think you're focusing on perfection doesn't mean it's going to be successful. When I started my software engineering business, we were looking for clients, what were we going to do? And we built this suite of products, or so we appeared to have built this suite of products called the Magi Collection. We had Magi Mail Shop, Magi Content, all of these sorts of things. We did this really glossy brochure, and I went around talking to businesses saying, would you like to buy one of these products? They're fantastic, all of this sort of stuff. Thing is, we hadn't actually built any of these products. We had a feature list, we thought them out, we planned them, but we hadn't gone to the time and expense of actually building them until we had a client. And then one day, someone said to me, I'd love to buy Magi Mail Shops. And this was the day before the days of MailChimp and all of that sort of stuff. And we built it. And we turned that into a product for many, many years. And it was really successful and we could sell it over and over again. But the principle is about minimal viable products. Let's use a bigger example, Dropbox. Dropbox is a great example of a minimal viable product using the principles of lean. They, when they were talking about getting their business up and growing, they produced the most bare bones product they could, and then all of a sudden all of these people started using it, and they had a list of names of people who wanted to get access to the product. It was really easy for them to then go to investors and say, we've got 100 million people wanting to use this product, do you want to get involved in it? It changes the game. So think a little bit about how you can do things quickly, and if you're a perfectionist, that can be a little bit difficult to do. One of the great tools out there to help you get a business sort of planned very, very quickly is called Business Model Canvas, where you just use Post-it notes in effect to plan out the key ideas behind your business, and it covers off all of the key aspects of it. So if you're starting a business, think about ways that you can shortcut to potentially getting customers on board, getting people engaged with you. Don't worry about necessarily getting it wrong, but if you do get it wrong, then how are you going to adapt? How are you going to change to it? It can be a little bit of a precarious way to run a business, but it's quite often how I've approached my business. In that approach is trying to think about minimal viable products and what can we do just to get things up and running in effect. So anyway, I hope that helps if you're going to start a business or create a new product. Thanks. Bye.